Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We are in the introduction/prologue area, so we'll just continue on.
Grotus, I can sense your silhouette hovering over me. It won't be much longer. Soon we shall meet, O Lord of Oblivion.
A dwarf is lying on the ground, staring into the dark sky. He doesn't seem to have any severe wounds, but his trembling whisper is weak, as though he were at death's door. Diplomacy 15. Aren't you being a bit premature? Look at yourself. You've barely got a scratch.
That's impossible. Oh, it seems you might be right. It seems I will live. I suppose I must postpone meeting my god, not for long, I'm sure. But while we remain in this transient world, Arim is at your service.
Excellent. Nihilistic dwarf. Let's put him up front since he's wearing proper armor.
You, run and get an axe. You, bring more water. You, stay here and hold our defense. Those assassins are still around here somewhere. Aha! Some of our guests survived. Good. You need to get to the banquet hall and help Lady Jamandi.
Who are you?
Keston House Gares, a fighter in the service of Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori. Right now, I'm in charge of the mansion guards. As you can see, there's a lot to do.
If I were a rich and influential lady like Jamandi, I'd also get myself a manly captain of the guard. Or two.
Do you need help putting out the fire?
No, we'll manage. I've got my best people here, those who still live. Your place is by Lady Aldori's side.
It doesn't seem right. What if some of the guards are wounded? We need to help them.
I'll go immediately.
Fire doesn't frighten me, thanks to hell's blood running in my veins. I'll go ahead and wait for you on the other side. Catch up!
The tiefling girl starts off and dashes through the fire.
May Abadar keep you safe.
I don't think we can try to put out the fire, so onwards we go. And so our adventure started, earlier and much more tragic than we'd expected. The whole team who'd gathered in the hall yesterday had been reduced to but a handful of brave souls, led by Caledorn, and not at all by that scoundrel Tartuccio, no matter what he might have imagined of himself. Jamandi Aldori was waiting for us, but to get to her, we'd have to march through fire, literally. As we approached the burning building, we drenched ourselves with buckets of water. Prudence is the key to victory. Before moving through the fire, we thoroughly wet our clothes and hair. After that, we covered our noses and mouths before we rushed inside. It was a good thing we hadn't wasted any time. After entering the building and taking just a few steps forward, the wall behind us slanted and crashed down with a terrible crackling sound, blocking the way back. While we may not have planned on going back, if we'd come in a little later, the flaming logs and red-hot bricks would have fallen right on our heads. Regardless, we were left with only one way to go. The hot air burned our lungs and our eyes watered from the smoke, but Caledorn led us stubbornly through the flames, while Tartuccio did nothing useful at all. We'd made it to the hallway leading to the banquet hall when we heard someone calling for us. It was Valerie, one of the guards I'd chatted with a bit in the banquet hall. Even then, in that calm setting, I'd been stunned by her beauty. But now, amid the smoke and flame, she looked like a celestial avenger. An armored deity, menacing but beautiful and merciful, descending from the higher spheres to help us poor mortals. She held a burned, barely living guard in her arms. "There are two more," she shouted as she passed by us. "They are wounded. Help me pull them out." Tartuccio grumbled something about how Jamandi was waiting for us. Meanwhile, Caledorn rushed to save the guards from the fire. Saving the poor fellows didn't take long. Together, we lifted them up and carried them away from the fire. only then did Valerie pause to catch her breath and wipe the sweat from her face. "Thank you. That was truly noble of you," she said. "And now let us rush to Lady Aldori's aid." Ensuring the guards we'd rescue were relatively safe, we made our way to the hall where the battle was already in full swing. And that puts Valerie in our party as well, so let's put her in the middle. She's a fighter.
Without a doubt.
And whenever you exit an area, this will pop up, so it's quite difficult to actually forget loot. I don't know if it applies to chests. No, it doesn't apply to chests and hidden items that you haven't found, but anything you've opened, you will have in this trophies left thing here. There is nothing we want, so we'll just leave. Reinforcements are already on the way. Say your prayers, scum. Okay, let's pause the game. I would like to cast Grease here. Can cast Magic Missile. You can run and attack that one. Cast Bane. Send her off there.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Try to avoid the grease.
Do not falter!
We shall overcome.
Just die already!
Grease is fairly amusing. How people can lie around it for a bit if they want to. See if there's anything worth looting. Health potions. And the grease is done. Perfect. Health potion. Health potion, health potion. This is interesting. Bracers that hasn't been identified yet. They are braces of armor +1. That would appear to be it. The giant has a great axe and a chain shirt. Guess we can grab the great axe. And then talk to Jamandi Aldori.
Thank you for your valor and bravery. The enemy was strong, but you were stronger, and that means I made the right choice. Just as I thought, there were worthy leaders among you. I'm especially grateful to them for the courage and common sense they showed while defending the mansion. But this attack means we have even less time than I thought. Someone already knows of our plans and is acting against us. You'll begin your expedition immediately.
Lady Aldori, please, I know who arranged this attack. The vile king of Pitax, Iroveti. What's more, I know who among us works for him. Hey, you! Show everyone the ring you're wearing. You think I wouldn't recognize Iroveti's seal? That's why he wasn't killed. The bandits recognized him as one of their own by this signet ring.
Clever little fellow. Knowledge roll check passed. I have no connections to Pitax, but Tartuccio's name, accent and clothes seem like he came straight from there. Which of us looks more like they might be Iroveti's spy?
Probably, yes. but this evidence is circumstantial at best. There's definitely a spy among us. But who? All I have is one word against another. I'm afraid you're both under suspicion.
They both came to your aid, Lady Jamandi. But a liar's cunning knows no bounds. I've never met these two or their companions. For all I know, they're all conspiring spies.
How could you say that? We fought together. We literally went through fire together. And then you vanished into thin air. After you promised you'd wait.
My words might be rash.
I bet my life despise anyone but this man. I saw how he dealt with those creeps with my own eyes. A true warrior. I'd go with him through hell and high water. This purple crook, on the other hand, he's got the eyes of a spy and the mug of a spy.
Dramatic.
Lady Eldori, don't listen to this thick-headed barbarian. She doesn't know what she's talking about. During the attack, our leader showed his true colors. He forced us to break into the armory and rob it.
Lawful neutral, diplomacy 11. Forgive me for my trespass. In my defense, we were in the middle of a battle and in dire need of weapons, even though we didn't take any.
Considering the circumstances, that was more than reasonable.
That was a sound decision. Sometimes one must act at one's own risk and peril, until crossing the boundaries of what is allowed. Showing initiative is no crime.
It is insane when faced with death to stop and question whether you may be breaking some law or rule. Even more insane would be to ask forgiveness for making the right decision. Sorry, but your words display a lack of wisdom.
Right.
What about that trick he pulled right before we came in here? He knew very well you were fighting the enemy, but instead of rushing to help you, he dallied as long as he could, dropping everything to save people from the fire, even though the guards were handling things just fine. He was obviously hoping to show up too late and find you already dead.
We'll go with a neutral, good diplomacy 12. People were dying right in front of me. How could I just walk by?
Really, Tartuccio? You're seriously trying to blame someone for saving people from a fire?
May Shellen spare me from ever having to make such a choice, but he behaved decently as a true leader.
A true leader is someone who has their priorities straight, not someone who would put a valuable ally's life in danger for the sake of some servant.
Haughty.
Enough squabbling. I'm still not sure which of you I can trust. However, the risk of entrusting the whole affair to a spy is too great. Here's what we'll do. 2 teams will head out. That way, I'll know at least one group can be counted on to serve my interests in the stolen lands.
Lady Eldori, most of those who were to set off for the stolen lands have been killed. Those who yet live will require help. Please allow me to join the expedition.
I'm sad to lose such a talented warrior. But you're right, Valerie. They have greater need of you right now. Go, and may Abadar keep you. Which of the 2 teams would you prefer to accompany?
If my leader allows, I would join his team. He seems a worthy commander in my eyes.
Excellent.
Commanders, military leaders, all these laws and rules are but dust and vanity. I suppose I will accompany Tartuccio.
Our leader is good in battle, but I don't like all the spiritual agonizing. I prefer those who can act without wasting time helping every little pipsqueak. Those like Tartuccio. So,
your party composition is decided by your actions in this prequel.
Ugh, Tartuccio's going to take the credit for himself and be done with it. Shellen, spare me from such allies. I'm going with you. You're a hero worthy of my quill.
Not sure you can avoid having Lindsay coming with you, though.
As for me, I know neither of these two. At least not well enough. And I have no wish to become an unwitting pawn to an unworthy leader. If Lady Jamandi allows, I'll remain in Restov and help mend the wounds this attack has inflicted. But who knows? The road may bring me to the stolen lands, but not yet.
I don't even need to think. I'm coming with this man. As for you, Purple Toad, just wait until we meet along the way. I'll be sure to hang your rotten spy guts from the trees.
Well, maybe she's more intelligent than I gave her credit for. Actually, she's a very, very good character.
All right, we have 2 teams. To avoid unnecessary conflict on the road, you'll each take a different route to the Stolen Lands. Tartuccio's team will go through Navacta's Crossing. The garrison commandant will provide him all the help he needs. You will take your team to Oleg Leviton's trading post. He's been complaining about the Stag Lord's bandits for a while now. There, you'll be provided with all the necessary travel supplies.
We got some camping supplies and rations, ×4, and a signed scroll of raised dead.
I'd like to believe you, but I know all too well how convincing traitors and spies can be. If you're truly innocent, I hope you can forgive me this precaution.
Certainly.
While you're away, Keston will investigate the night's events and learn who in Restov is working for Pitax. But you should know that it isn't just Pitax we need to worry about. The Royal House of Sertova may also interfere in our plans. I've managed to keep this affair a secret from them so far, but that can't last long. By my estimations, you have no more than 3 months. After that, any feats you accomplish will be pointless.
So we have 3 months.
And now, farewell. This battle was but the first ordeal along your path, and you overcame it as true champions of Restov. May the obstacles that follow also fall to your feet. Fear nothing, my friends, and return victorious.
There we go.
Surviving a terrible night, our small team set off to brave our fate. Beware, Stolen Lands. Heroes are on the way.
Aww. So, this is the world map. It is big. You just travel along the roads or paths by clicking these little arrows, which passes time. And occasionally we will have random encounters when we are traveling on the roads.
We will prevail.
Still a scene. An animal, apparently. Some kind of dog, I guess. Let's send Amiri off to attack that one. And Valerie can go for that one. And Lindsay and Caledorn can go for that one. Easy peasy. Skin and collect, and moving right along. Before we leave this little pocket, let's set up the formation. Like so. And off we go. And here we are at Oleg's trading post. Save yourselves, fools. In the name of the Stag Lord, the lawful authority in the Stolen Lands, we demand this week's tax and some beer. And where's that pretty wife of yours, Oleg? She should serve us dinner. Quiet down, dimwit. Oleg, we're just here for the Stag Lord's tax. Hand over the money and we'll be on our way. You want to drink some of my blood too? I'm sick of you. You're like locusts. You think you control everything around here just because you put up that painted rag of yours? You come here, squeeze us dry, and come again. Oleg, a large man with a rough face, stops talking when he notices you. Ah, you must be guests from Restov. We don't have evil, so we can't do that. We can do neutral good, or we can do full neutral. I think that will just do lawful neutral. Attack. My task is to clear this land of bandits. I will start right now. Retreat. We are too few for a fight. Let's call for help from the camp. No way. Just means we can rob a few idiots instead of just one. To arms, everyone.
To victory!
Send Valerie on that one. And Amiri on that one. Caledorn and Lindsay can attack that guy.
Do not hold back.
Look at me, Gorum!
Nothing of interest. Let's talk to Oleg. Take that, you scoundrels! Oleg shakes his fist. But now, he scratches his head and stares at the ground gloomily. The girl got away, a plague on her. He's certain to complain to the Stag Lord. They came before to collect taxes, but this time they'll come to punish treason. Now what are we to do? He sighs heavily. If only I could send Svetlana somewhere safe and show those rats what's what. He notices a fair-haired woman approach. Dove, why are you here? I told you to stay hidden. It's all over. I saw it. I just needed to be sure you were all right. The woman looks at her husband tenderly, if with a hint of sorrow. Oleg mumbles something as he looks away, embarrassed. My name is Svetlana. I'm sorry your arrival to our trading post turned out so unwelcoming. Let's get to the point. You say the bandits are going to attack again? Who are they and when will they arrive? Oleg waves his hand sullenly. Who are they? They are the Staglord's gang, that's who. These lands teem with bandits like bedbugs in a beggar's hut, and you just stirred them up. They have a camp not far from here. I expect they'll return in full force in half a day, maybe less. The Staglord won't take an insult like this lightly, and his henchmen are more like demons than men. Lawful good, you have nothing to fear. I will help you deal with the attack. Well, I appreciate your good intentions. I may not have the best manners, but Oleg Leviton is the last name you'll hear accused of being ungrateful. If we manage to defend this post, I'll reward you proper. We have to hide Svetlana. Please don't argue, Dove. Now, we also need to decide on a plan. Go ahead and look around. There may be some tools that can be used for the battle. There are some pretty solid traps around, some tar, and a box of alchemist's fire, looks like. I'm going to look around. Think on the best way to use the tar and traps. All right, soon as you're finished, let us know, and don't leave the post. The bandits could return at any time. We have to protect the trading post. We notice some good steel traps that we can use to help catch the bandits. Now we have traps around the gate.
I will guide us.
Here's a jug of tar. We'll spill that near the trading post entrance to help slow down the bandits. Wonderful sound. Here's some things that needs to be cleaned up. Heavy mace. Don't bother taking that. Sack of potatoes. here. The old well has been renovated and cleaned. It even has a new roof. Heavy crossbow. Longsword. The bucklers will just leave.
Our path leads on.
Or we let the bandits attack, we can level up our characters. We'll take 1 level in Sorcerer. We'll take Knowledge Arcana, Persuasion, and use Magic Device on this level. Complete. Valerie, 1 level of Fighter. Give her Athletics, Nature Lore, and Knowledge of World. No use for her to have Persuasion as far as I know. Weapon focus with Bastard Sword. I believe that's what she's using. Or I did a mistake right now. No, she's using a Bastard Sword. Amiri is also using a Bastard Sword, large one. Level her up with 1 level of Barbarian. Perception, Athletics, Mobility, and Nature Lore. And she gets a Rage Power, so we'll give her a Lethal Stance, which gives a +1 competence bonus on melee attack rolls and thrown weapon attack rolls. And then finally Lindsay, we'll give her 1 level of Bard. We'll up her Trickery. And use Magic Device. Mobility and Stealth. Guess since I have Knowledge Arcana and World on Caledorn, let's give her Athletics. I'm not sure we need Stealth on her, to be honest. Let's put 2 points into Mobility instead. Represents a character's talent for balance and coordination. Yeah. Which world? Caledorn has 6. That seems fine with me. Bard talent. Let's see your skill focus. Terrain mastery. Iron guts. Let's take weapon focus. Light crossbow. Gives us +1 on all attack rolls with light crossbow. Can take another spell. It already has Cure Light Wounds and the Ear-Piercing Scream. Can save each round. Sleep is useful. And complete. Now let's talk to Oleg. Oleg and Svetlana are discussing something in low but impassioned whispers. You manage to make out the words "forget about it" before they stop talking and turn to you. Wait for attack. I'm prepared for the attack. Get in your positions and wait. Fear not. I'll stand between you and this scum. You are under my protection. Amiri flexes her shoulders. Finally a fight. Was bored with all that talking. Oh, these aren't the heroics I was hoping to write about, but I guess even the greatest heroes have to start somewhere. I see you're not easily cowed. I'll help you fight. I've got a box of alchemist's fire we can use. We could put it by the gate, then set it off with a burning arrow, then those bandits get close. I'll even shoot the arrow myself. I used to be pretty good with a crossbow back in my day. Better give the alchemist's fire to me. We can deal with bandits without it. Are you sure? Well, it's your call. Here, take it. Get 12 alchemist's fire. I beg you, be careful, and please don't let Oleg do anything too risky. Svetlana, go hide inside. We're going to go meet our guests. 6 hours and 40 minutes have passed.
We will prevail!
Indeed. I'd rather not they go anywhere yet. There we go. Now you can go there and you can go there.
We shall overcome.
Let's cast grease down there.
Any last wishes?
And then go back up here.
Attack! Strike as one.
This is where I step in.
Nope, you don't go anywhere. The two of you, however.
Serves you right. You deserved it.
I don't want them to go into the grease and fall over.
Any last wishes?
There we go. Absolutely nothing of interest.
Well?
I will see this through.
Composite longbows, they are worth 100, so that's nice. Let's go lie down there a bit. Oh, Stop taking a nap and get over here. Talk to Oleg. Oleg is breathing heavily, but he shakes his fist in the air menacingly. You rats got what you deserved. Now they'll know better than to treat honest people like cattle. We should call Bokken out before he freezes in those bushes. Now, my lord, head on up to the guest rooms on the second floor. You deserve some rest after such a battle. I need to clean things up. And this is for your efforts. Now, don't offend me by trying to turn it down. Just take it. An honest fight deserves an honest reward. If that were more common practice in this world, I think life would be so much better. He gives us 100 gold coins. Let's go inside. Guess we can just go straight upstairs. Of course, we have to do some cleanup. Collect all, and collect all. That book of anything of interest? Nah. Your Cloak of Resistance. I'll probably want to equip that. As for weapons, let's swap out the light crossbow with a heavy one. The armor. Banded mail, 7. I can put this on her, that's 2 armor class. Braces of armor. 14, 23, 16, 17. Okay, so we'll give these to Caledorn. that. I do want health potions though. Valerie has a potion of Shield of Faith. Lindsay has 2 scrolls of Cure Wounds. These are their belt quick slots, I believe. Let's give Amiri the Cure Moderate Wound potion, since she's more prone to taking damage than Valerie is. Valerie has 6 more armor class than Amiri does, so... Okay, now let's just go back here and sort by type in ascending order. And go to sleep. You wake up from a nasty dream that tortured you almost all night long. In it you saw a wall of unnaturally thick fog that surrounded you, slowly moving closer and closer. A quick look out of the window and you find out that the fog was not a figment of your imagination, not a dream. And then...
Hear me. Please hear me. Can you hear me? Please.
The half-transparent outline of a beautiful nymph appears before you. Even in this ghostly form, it is clear that she's exhausted. Her shoulders are slouched, and her large blue eyes burn with her pale face. Her voice is barely more than a whisper as she reaches toward you. It seems that only you can see or hear the nymph. Who are you?
Who am I? Just a tear shed by the land itself. The bitter sigh of nature. I am a nymph, the guardian of this area. A defeated guardian. Call me the guardian of the bloom, if you wish.
What do you want from me?
Aid. Salvation. We have a common enemy, and long have I searched for someone who can defeat him. The one you call the Stag Lord. As a storm strikes ruthlessly with gusts and lightning, the Stag Lord wreaks havoc with the swords of his servants. And not just in the world of people. The land also suffers from the evil he brings. My forests and my flowers suffocate in this fog. Soon even I will vanish, as the last ray of light fades at dusk.
Staglord is responsible for the fog?
Yes. It hides his fortress as well as his dark deeds. But while responsible, he did not create this affliction. It is the work of a powerful druid who has betrayed even himself. I know not why the powers did not leave this renegade, but even I was unable to defeat him.
How can I help you?
This fog, it enshrouds, entangles, suffocates. If only I could learn how it was created. But my powers wane. I have barely the strength to call out to you. All I know for certain is that somewhere in this forest lies an old house, and it echoes with the remnants of a strange power. The Stag Lord and his druid were there. The fog hides this place from me, but I can point you to the bandits' camp near the Thornford. Make them tell you where this place is. Go there and listen to the echo, catch the whispers, search for anything that can tell you how the fog was created. Once the fog clears, nature will breathe again, and you will be able to easily find your way to the fortress of our mutual enemy.
Thornford has been revealed, on our map that is, and we gain 45 experience points. Alright, I understand. Farewell.
I don't believe in fate, stranger, but our meeting seems more than a coincidence.
The nymph's whisper fades as she disappears. So it is morning. And this is an excellent place to end the episode. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next one.